Hello, my most amazing artists. Today is an exciting day because you get to make your sketchbook that we are going to use throughout the entire school year. At the end of the school year, you'll get to take your sketchbook home. Now, sketchbooks look a lot different sometimes. You could have sketchbooks that are big. You could have sketchbooks that are small. You could have teeny tiny sketchbooks. You could have a sketchbook that also acts as a folder. You can paint in some sketchbooks. Some sketchbooks are just for drawing because of the paper's thinner. A sketchbook is basically a book with blank pages that you can put your creativity in. A sketchbook is also a great place to plan. You'll notice that these are some of my sketchbooks where I've taken a lot of notes and also sketched out drawings before I did them on a bigger space or big canvas. Sometimes I just travel around with my sketchbook, take it on planes, trains, cars, automobiles, whatever it is. Whenever I'm bored, I carry around a sketchbook in my backpack so that I can always have somewhere to draw that I'm able to take with me. Because not always do we have an easel or a canvas or a big piece of paper with us, but a sketchbook is somewhere that you can do anywhere. It's something you can do anywhere that you are, as long as you carry that around with you. So I have sketched out a lot of things in my sketchbook. I've used it for college classes. I've used it in high school. I used them when I was your age. You can do whatever you want in your sketchbook. Sometimes in art class, we'll even use it for planning a big painting before we go ahead and do it, because it's good to plan it out first. All artists have a sketchbook. Every single famous artist that ever lived has had a sketchbook before because they always need to practice. Sketchbooks are for planning and practicing. Nobody's perfect, everybody makes mistakes, and every artist needs a place to practice so that they can get better. The more that you practice, the better that you're gonna get. So all artists need a sketchbook to practice their drawing skills and to also plan. So we'll be using our sketchbook for a lot of different things. Another thing that you'll use your sketchbook for is if you're ever finished early and don't have anything to do. Instead of asking Miss Q, what do I do now? You could just draw in your sketchbook. So it'll always be there for you on your table in your table folder. Today we will be making medium-sized sketchbooks that look a little something like this. Your sketchbook will have plenty of paper in it for you to use throughout the year as long as you use one page at a time and use the front and the back. You want to be sure not to use all your papers up on the first couple weeks of art because then you won't have enough papers later in the year. You'll also get to take these home on the last day of school at the end of the school year, and you can fill in any empty pages during the summer or whenever if you have them. Today you will get to choose the color of your cover for your sketchbook. There will be red, orange, yellow, light green, dark green, lime green, light blue, dark blue, light purple, and dark purple/magenta. You get to pick one color paper. Once you pick, that's the paper that you're stuck with once you draw on it. So the first thing is to be thinking right now which color of the rainbow paper you would like to have for your sketchbook cover. The second thing you're going to do is fold your piece of paper in half. When you fold your paper in half, we're not going to be folding it hot dog style. There would be no room that way. You're going to fold it, we call it hamburger style. That is the wide way so that you have the most room to design your cover. When you're folding your paper, you want to make sure to line up your edges, not like that, Miss Q, like that. Line up your corners and give them a pinch, and then turn to the other side and give it a pinch and a crease. Once you pinch and crease, you should have a paper that's folded evenly. After you do that, you are welcome to start designing the front of your sketchbook. The only rule is that the crease of your book goes on the left side. All books open from the right side, not from the left, so make sure the crease or the fold is on your left so that your book opens from the right, just like you're turning a page of a book. Then you just can design anything you want as long as it includes your name. Your sketchbook design just has to include your name on the front. That's the most important part. I would suggest writing your name very big. You're going to have a variety of materials to use, like construction paper crayons. You'll have colored pencils, Sharpies, pencils, and markers. You'll also have a sheet on your table that teaches you how to make bubble letters if you're interested in trying that. If it's too hard, don't worry about it. You can do whatever you want. You could write your name normally, like I just did. I'm drawing very light when I draw in pencil. Draw light, light, light till you get it right, because you only get one paper. To make some bubble letters, I'm just hugging my lightly drawn letters with my pencil. I'm hugging them like a bubble would go around them, making sure all of the corners are curved instead of straight. Then I can use my eraser, and if my pencil eraser is almost gone, everybody has 2 big erasers in their bin, and always erasing in the safety zone of my letter L, clean up that pencil line before I outline in Sharpie. Then I can start outlining in Sharpie. You will have 2 different kinds of Sharpies, a regular, which is what I'm using, and a skinny Sharpie for really tiny details and fine lines. Just make sure you never press too hard with your Sharpie and always put the cap back on. Once I'm done tracing over my pencil lines, then I can think about color baby color. But first, I'm going to get a little bit fancy and include a highlight on my bubble letters to make them look like real bubbles. Real bubbles have a little bit of a shiny part that kind of looks white, so I'm going to save and draw a space for that, so when I color it in, that little space will be a white highlight. Then I'm going to create a shadow on the opposite side. To make my shadow, it's just a black outline hugging around the left side of my letters, behind them, just like a shadow would be behind you if you were standing in the sun and looking on the sidewalk at your shadow. So the shadow goes on the left side of my letters, and then my highlight goes on the right side. But if that's too fancy for you, just write your name any way you would like. It's up to you. You are the artist, and it's up to you what you create today. Even if you just write your name normally, very big in the center, then you'll be able to draw whatever you want around it. I just need to know whose sketchbook it is, so it's important that you include your name. If you want to do it creatively and artistically, that would be awesome to incorporate it in your design. After you make your name, you can design anything you want and draw anything you want on your sketchbook. It could be your favorite things. It could just be lines, designs, and patterns, like say zigzags or shapes that you know how to draw. It could be your pets or your favorite animals. You could draw your favorite games or your favorite cartoon characters. You could draw a picture of your family. You could draw a picture of your friends. You could draw a picture of your favorite foods, if I haven't said that already. Whatever your favorite things. This sketchbook is about you, and I want to be able to look at it and know that that belongs to you without even seeing your name. I should know it because it's got all your favorite things that describe you. I love art, so maybe I would put some art supplies, but I also love donuts and pizza and all kinds of food like that, and ice cream. So maybe I would like to draw some of those things on there, some of my favorite things. If you want to make it just all one theme, that's okay too. Maybe you just want to make it all football themed or about your favorite sports teams. Mine's the Gators. Maybe I would do an orange sketchbook with blue drawings or a blue sketchbook with some orange drawings. It's totally up to you what you create today on your sketchbook. Just make sure you're always doing your best work and using your time wisely. Now you have crayons on your table. These are brand new crayons that are actually very special crayons. They have a black wrapper, or some of them do. They are made specifically for this type of paper. They're called construction paper crayons because they show up super, super bright on this kind of paper. It's really awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these crayons to color in my letters. When you're finished coloring, please also write your class code in the bottom right corner. Your class code starts with the grade that you're in, the number or letter of the grade, and then the first letter of the teacher's last name. That's going to be your class code that you always write in your papers. So I'm going to go ahead and write my class code in the corner. Now, just want to show you what happens if you make a mistake. We never throw away papers in art class. You can always turn it over, turn it inside out, or just flip it to the back. That could be your new cover. We do not need to get a new paper and waste a perfectly good piece of paper. So you can always turn it over if you make a mistake and marker that can't be fixed. But just remember, all mistakes can be turned into happy accidents. No such things as mistakes in art. All right, let me go ahead and work on mine for a second before we talk about cleanup. You do finish in time today and have extra time, you can staple in the papers into your sketchbook. I have a big fancy automatic stapler where you'll put the papers inside your sketchbook and give it 3 staples, 1, 2, 3 in the top, middle, and bottom of your sketchbook. The stapler is automatic, so you need to be careful of your fingers. I will have a special staple station where I help you to do that. Whenever you're finished, you're going to put it in your table folder. This will make sure that you always get it back at the end of each class, or where you put it at the end of each class and get it at the beginning. All your sketchbooks will go in there even if you're not finished. When it's time to clean up and that alarm goes off, it's super important that you put everything back in your table team bin and clean up. If you need to clean your hands, you can use an art wipe to wipe your hands and your area. All right, awesome artists, can't wait to see what you create.